What's up, Lowlives? Welcome to your Friday. Back again. It's your boy, Rhino. With me, as always, my trusty co host. Where's Waldo?
What's up, my boy?
You
Like
said it.
that?
You guys have to be watching it to
Target,
know. But if he
exactly.
was in a
It's not a
cartoon
platform.
sea of people with a bunch of crazy shit going on, you'd be looking for him.
I should have worn this to Idle Hands. It would have blended right in.
Oh, dude, next year.
Next year, we all just dress up like Waldo. That's how you know it's the staff.
Dude, everybody dressed up like Waldo, and it's like a fucking herd of zebra, and everybody's just bumping into each other because you can't tell one human from the next.
Uh, yeah, a little anonymity. Yeah,
Yeah, guys. So this is a recap episode, a thank you episode for everybody that was involved in making the greatest chopper show in the history of chopper shows an actual reality. You'll notice that I'm still wearing my hat because I didn't have to eat it. Because I think, in my honest, humble opinion, that it actually was the greatest chopper show in the history of chopper shows. Number one reason why
100%.
this chopper show was better than any other chopper show there's ever been is because the people that attended it, the people that were there, it was not so much a show about bikes, but what we had hoped and what the mission of the show and the mission of the Idle Hand show was, is bringing chopper people together from all around the country and around the world, hopefully. It was more like a garage night, on a massive scale. It was more like a fucking like a reunion with your old pals at an Irish pub. Like the feeling of like camaraderie and like just that all these people like we've never met face to face, but as soon as you see them, you're already friends. Like that was and it wasn't just for me or for Dan. Like I watched it, I watched it happen in front of me. People that had never met and now they're chilling together. And like not just like, hey, nice to meet you, and you go off and fucking look at some bikes. The bikes were not the draw. The draw was the people. And I think that is unique to the Idle Hand show. It's unique to the Low Lives here. And I think that that's what sets it apart from any other show I've ever been to. And that was my wager going into it. And to see it actually play out that way, I feel vindicated. But most of all, I'm really proud of what we put together. And for me, it was the greatest chopper show that I've ever been to. Period. Mic drop.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. I couldn't have said it any better. That was my heart is so full. I hate when people say that, but like for real, I forget who I was telling. It might have been John. This is as happy as I've been in years. And this is Wednesday when we're recording this for context. So it's been a few days, and been able to see a lot of the content flow in and photos, and just hear from people, after the fact that have gotten home and it's settled in, and they're still. It's just nothing but positivity. I haven't heard one single negative thing. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I feel very lucky. I feel very blessed that it went off the way it did. That people bought into it. You know what I mean? Because who knows? We could have flubbed that whole thing. You know what I mean? But it
Yeah.
it
Like
it
the
was not a flub. It was
technicalities,
huge. It was
we def
unbelievable.
we definitely flubbed a lot of the execution of it because obviously it's our first time. But
Yeah.
it didn't matter, and I'm in the same I didn't see one
Right.
single negative post. I didn't see one fucking negative Nelly talking shit, dude. Like, the way that the builders came
Nope.
together, like the 13 builders and the A side, like, you're competing for 10 grand. And leading up to the show, we've interviewed all the builders, and none of them cared a lick about the money. It was never about the money. It was always about the bikes, and it was always about meeting other builders and talking to other builders, and they all supported each other. On the back end, we saw it, like we had the
Oh yeah.
builder group chat and shit and giving each other advice and parts. But when we kicked off the show and it was time to start your bike or you're out, guess what? Like 5 bikes didn't start. And you know what happened? All the builders scrambled to help each other out. Every single one of them.
For real.
Nobody sat back. Everybody ran up to a bike that wasn't working immediately encircled that
Yep.
person to try to get him to run. That's the magic of the Idle Hands show, dude. It's about building choppers. It's
Yeah,
about dudes that are garage builders, and it's about lifting everybody up. Everybody wins, and it's not a participation
yeah, it
trophy.
was
You
just
earn it through the journey of building your fucking chopper. You've earned the right to win.
right. I don't yeah, I really don't think, and I really hope that none of the builders feel slighted in any way because of how that all turned out. Like, seeing that in real life, in real time, like, gentlemen start your engines type deal, they all just kick their bikes over, and then you see, like, uh-oh, there's a couple of them that aren't, and, uh-oh, there's a big puddle of gas underneath that one, uh-oh.
Dude,
You know what I mean? We
a
might be
full year
shaking
of your
some shit up here.
life.
Yeah, all culminating in one moment and seeing, like, the panic start to set in on guys, and you know what I mean? And we're going around going, "Hey, it's okay. You got time. Calm down.
Yep.
It's all right." And then to see everybody clamor around each of the bikes that needed help, and, like, then when that bike got started, man, like, that I've never experienced anything like that in my whole life. Never, ever. There were 2 or 3 chances that we got to relive that moment again, where
Mhm.
somebody had the "oh fuck" moment. I gotta go get my bike running, and people were helping them out. And then finally there was that fucking explosive moment when
Yeah.
everyone's watching. Like, crowds and crowds of people are watching, and the suspense is through the roof. That was just to see all that, man. Shout out to all those guys. Shout out, I saw Sean Szymanski must have coached like literally every single person that was
He's a
struggling that
fucking
day,
brain, dude. That
A-siders
guy
or
knows
not, like,
everything. He's
unbelievable, dude.
and so good under
Watching him
pressure.
work, dude, he was like, yeah, unshakable. That dude is unshakable, not to mention his bike and everything. But we'll get
Let's
all there.
just
But
let's just
it
start
was just
this off with 13
easy.
builders because we kicked that show off, and we'll get into the whole time frame, but we have a lot of thanks to give for pulling any of this shit off. And number one, I want to thank the A side builders, the guys. They fucking killed themselves to get where they were. You guys
Yep,
heard them. Sean Szymanski was commuting from California to New Jersey to finish his bike, which came out immaculate. Ethan Kahn, the supercharged fucking CB, dude. Thing was sick
yep,
and it sounded insane. Doom Cult.
yep,
He fucking, I mean, again, the background to be involved in the show, that motherfucker ground for a year, dude, like into the early wee morning hours to get that thing done. And then he swapped a motor when he got to fucking New Hampshire, dude. Okay. Shithammer Art. His fucking bike was so nice, dude. Like,
oh,
unbelievable amount of work and
unreal.
craftsmanship, dude, in these bikes. Like, every single one of these bikes is amazing, and they've earned it, and I hope they ride the shit out of them, dude. Speed and Noise,
Yep,
nothing less, I would expect, but immaculate,
yeah,
perfect XS, dude.
perfect
It's the
excess.
it's the
Yep,
perfect XS. I've never seen a nicer XS. Papa Titty. This was
truly,
one of the
yeah,
most insane bikes I've ever seen, and again, he was
ever
one that
seen.
was grinding it out at Fat Man's shop
Oh,
for days before the show to get it done.
yeah,
The amount of respect and reverence I have for these builders for getting it done, every single bike started. Every single bike was ready for prime time. There wasn't a shit box in the bunch. Nobody phoned it in. Everybody killed it. Joseph Greenleaf, his bike, what is just one of the nicest bikes I've ever seen, one of the nicest paint jobs. I can't even believe he did that himself, because he was like, "I'm
yeah.
not a painter, dude," but that came out fucking beautiful. He was one that he
One
couldn't
best
start
paint.
his bike, but he's like, "Why the fuck not? It's always started before."
Right.
Uh,
Yep.
Revenant
But he got it
Choppers,
running. I
dude.
mean, yeah,
Revenant Choppers fucking Black Dahlia bike. He got that thing all the way from goddamn California to New Hampshire. I think he's still on his way home
yep.
now, right?
He's down in Massachusetts as we speak. Yeah, I didn't know he
Jesus
was
Christ.
lingering so long. I just
I
saw
didn't know either.
he's down in Salem or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
H79 Chopper. This dude is a
Mm,
wicked sleeper because he is not on social media, did not return my calls. He's the only
right.
one that didn't come on the podcast. Turns out he's just super fucking chill and such a cool dude.
Yeah.
Him and his wife and his whole family came
Yeah.
up
For real.
in that his chopper dude was just like, I loved it. It was like, again, like you think about like just a badass, like dual front brake, like, old club style, whatever, dude. Like that was just perfectly executed. And again, I really enjoyed talking to him, dude. He was just like, he's chill as fuck. And I respect him for that. Chopper Fisher.
Mhm.
This motherfucker probably has a new ulcer right now. I can't imagine he doesn't. I mean, he was fucking balls to the wall, dude. And in his personal life, he's been going through some shit too, like some shit. So
Yeah, he had to have some really, really serious medical procedures 2 weeks before Idle Hands in California,
yeah, in fucking San
where there were
Francisco.
complications
Yeah,
in San Francisco, and then come back and then grind the fuck out of his bike that he made kick only.
he was painting it
Fucking
the weekend
insane.
before. We were loading up for the Idle
Yeah,
Hands show, and the weekend before, he had it bare metal. He hadn't even had it in Bondo yet, and to see what he put out,
yep,
unreal, unreal,
yeah.
dude.
He did that in this shed in, like, 24 hours straight. He slept on this couch.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
and
unbelievable. The amount of work that was put into those 12 bikes,
and then we got
astronomical.
Evo Trash Rat. You guys all know him. His bike came out amazing. He didn't have any trouble starting it
Amazing.
either.
No, nope,
Yeah,
that thing kicked right the fuck over. I
right
watched the
the fuck
video and
over,
he just
dude.
walked over and was like, "Prime pick, pow," and he just kinda
Yeah.
looked around like, "That was easy."
What a wild style too. I mean, he did everything on that bike, and again, came all
Yeah.
the way out from Colorado, dude. Colorado came in heavy. And
Mhm.
then we did our redemption pick. The 13th pick, the judges chose MF Choppers with his
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yami, Yami Mommy, dude,
Yeah,
with
his
the sick
XS, that
lean.
thing was wild,
I think the lean
wild
alone,
fucking jump.
dude, this fucking thing was at a 90-degree angle hovering over the pavement. The lean on this thing is probably what got it over to the A side. It was I've never seen a bike lean like that and not fall over.
Dude, the front engine mounts were like fucking 2 feet off the ground, like straight up. The fucking horn of that, the belly of that frame was like 2 feet off the fucking ground. That engine was at like more of a 45 than usual. It was wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
that thing was super, super dope.
Yeah. So I want to thank all the A side builders, but also all the B side builders, dude. Um,
Yeah.
they came out, dude. I was looking over there, and again, dude, like some of these bike. One of my favorite bikes in the whole show is on the B side. By the way, if I was a judge, it would have been on the A side, and I already told the guy, so I'm not gonna put his business out there. But there was a B side bike that I straight up, that would have been probably one of my picks for, like, the whole damn show, dude. It was wicked nice.
Was it a
Um,
Sportster? Yeah. I think I'm on the same page with you.
yeah. And then Lex, dude, crushed it. He had an awesome ass paint job. Again, he's another one,
Yep.
dude, like, texting me all year long, like, in his shed, 100 degrees. He's a big fella too. He's like a giant, and he's in his shed inhaling paint and, sweating his ass off. He probably passed out a few times building that bike, if I had to wager, but
He did such a good job with the paint too. He was sweating it, but he did such a good job with that paint job.
yeah, yeah. And then that dude Corey that built a bike in like fucking 3 days, drove it across country, and
Dude,
now he's on his way to
so I
fucking
yeah, I
Full Tilt Boogie or whatever.
yeah, so
Where is he off
we
to?
gotta have that dude full tilt. Yeah, he's heading back that way. I talked to him the other day with Corey. We got to do an episode with him at some point down the line. His story is just too impressive. The long and short of it is he built his bike in like 8 weeks
A Dyna,
and then rode it, a Dyna chopper,
Dyna chop.
and then rode it overnight, fucking 3 nights in a row or whatever. Come hell or high water, dealt with all sorts of shit to get there. Literally pulled in tidal hands like fucking, I don't know, 15 minutes after the gates opened or whatever, and was like, please don't keep me out. And we were like, motherfucker, you pull right the hell in. You're the
Yeah,
only one. He rode like 1,500 miles to get there. So we
yeah.
got to
I
have
was
him
like,
on.
dude, yeah,
Incredible
fuck the
story.
11 o'clock load in shit. I was like, that wasn't even on my mind. But
Yeah.
it's so impressive. Number
Yeah.
one, how many B-siders completed their mission, and I met a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
B-siders that didn't finish that still showed up at the show. So number one, A side and B side, you guys are the heart of this fucking show. That's what it's about. It's about building fucking choppers by yourself. And you guys absolutely crushed it. I have so much respect for all of you. And then to get here, from all over the United States, like people coming from all over the United States just to go to our little show that we're just two fucking idiots on the internet. You know what I mean? You guys trusted us, and that means so
For
much to
real.
me. And I really mean
Yeah,
that from the bottom of my heart. Like, I respect you, and now that I got to meet you, I have even more respect for you because it turns out, again,
absolutely.
you know what? I'm sick of being right. Chopper people are the best people. And garage builders that are in it for the
Truly.
right reasons, like this fucking show, they're the best people. They're your people. That's why everybody's fucking got along so well at the show because we're all there and it's not a fucking, you know, Instagram opportunity to get more followers or some shit or to put on fucking
Right.
your Daisy Dukes and cowgirl boots, and look cute. It was like everybody was a filthy
You
little
might
mongrel. It was 85 degrees, no clouds, no
Nope.
shade. And we were just a bunch of hot,
Yep.
sexy mechanic girls and boys sweating our asses off in a parking lot. It was awesome.
On that note, I do want to say I want to shout out literally every single person that was in attendance because after the fact, we all met together and realized that there was not one single incident all weekend long. There was not one fight. There was not one drunk that fucked shit up. There was not one like
Nobody got hurt.
all the fucking whatever didn't show up. There was nothing. There were a bunch of little tiny fires that got put out like instantaneously. People handled their shit like the grounds were left clean, like unbelievable. So
You know what the
huge shout
craziest
out to
part about
literally
that
every
is?
person.
You know what's so insane about that? They sold out of beer. I mean, like, you
Yeah.
guys were there. Some of us were there drinking since 7 o'clock in the morning. I took my first shot of maple whiskey at like 7:30 in the morning. All day long drinking in the hot sun. Sold out of beer. Okay, all the Idle Hands beer from Woodstacker gone. Can't get it anymore. Every neutral fucking vodka tonic or whatever the fuck those things were. Every PBR, Coors, every fucking can of beer was sold out. Rowan, our event coordinator, had to go to the store in the morning and buy like 130 packs the next day. So that's a real
Yeah.
testament to how you guys can hold your fucking liquor and hold that shit together.
Yeah.
So someone did lose a small bag about yay big with some white powder in it. We found it on
Mm.
Sunday. Don't worry, we took care of it for you.
There's a couple, two, three of those for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for everybody for coming. You guys are fucking amazing, dude. Like what a fun time. You can go to a chopper show and just have fun. You don't have to it's not a dick measuring contest.
Hmm.
You can meet new friends. The other thing is just like, first of all, the Instagram. Thank you so much, guys, for posting and tagging and all that shit. I couldn't keep up with it. It was so crazy. But just to see everybody was having fun with their new friends, it was always pictures of them with new people that they met, and they hung out and drank and had a great time. We also want to thank, and we're going to be doing we should do a show with them soon. But number one, Maddie and Rowan from Manchester Harley. Maddie, I think, yeah, he was just as stoked as us the day of the show. He's like, this is getting
Yeah.
crazy. And then when people started showing up, he was like, what the fuck is going on? I don't think he really understood 100% how you're built. Okay. But to see it all come together and to see how many fucking people in behaving themselves, even though you're fucking in a beastly state of intoxication. You're doing all the drugs. You're sneaking in liquor. You're drinking beer. You're selling them out, and you still keep your composure like a motherfucking G. So thank you, Maddie, for letting us have the run of the fucking roost for the day. And thank you, Rowan,
Hmm.
because she's an actual event coordinator. Me and Dan wouldn't have been able to do this without her. She has
No
spreadsheets.
way.
She has shit in the 11th hour. She's cutting checks. She's keeping it all together. She's running around. And by the way, not even breaking a sweat, dude. I showed up on Saturday to set up, dude. And by the time I hopped out of my car, I was a hot mess. I looked like I needed to be hosed down before I could go inside someone's house. Rowan, dude, she didn't even have a hair out of place. She was just walking around. She was like, telling people to do shit, moving and a shaking. Yeah, she's a real consummate
Mm.
professional. So thank you, Rowan. Thank you, Maddie, for
100%.
letting us fuck up your house for a couple of days.
And on the Manchester Harley note, Fish for being the spark. Fish was genuinely the liaison initially when this was the Reviver show, and a winter swap meet, and then a second attempt at a show. You know what I mean? It was Fish that that started this whole thing. It was his idea to bridge the two together. So thank
And
you for
thanks
that.
for
And
all
obviously
the
thank you
everybody at
to
Harley.
their I was just gonna say their whole staff, because it was majority them that were handling parking, that were handling all like the stuff that was going on indoors, and
The
like it
ladies at the
was their
bar, you
bar.
know?
Like they staffed the bars.
They made it
They
fun
you know
too,
what I
like,
mean? It
those
was all
girls at
they
the
had.
bar, they weren't like, "How many had you drank?" You know,
Yeah.
you go to some Harley events, and they'll allow you, like, 2 beers, 2 light beers, hate
Mhm.
shit like that. These girls were just about it. They're like, "Woohoo!
Yeah.
Dollar beers all day long." No wonder they sold out.
Yep.
So, yeah, everybody at
It was
Harley was
awesome.
fucking
Yeah, and
dope, dude. They
everybody
let us ride
there.
the golf carts.
Yep.
They even said that if
Yeah.
you're forklift certified, they'd let you, use the forklift. So, maybe next year, if
Damn, I
you're
didn't know
fork
that.
Are
I
you?
am forklift certified. As a
Legit?
motherfucker. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh,
I work on
shit.
aerial lifts.
Okay. Is it the same
On the
cert?
forklift. No, forklift's like the easiest one I get.
Oh, okay.
Forklift's like a PowerPoint presentation and then go play with the forklift real quick. No, that's yeah. For I got the card. I'm a
Yeah.
card carrying member, baby.
A couple other people that were involved with the show we wanna thank, Muzzy, the WAP. He fucking killed it on the artwork. He made all the banners.
Mhm.
He was there a day early to help set up. He was down to fucking party, dude. He did so much work. I mean, he did
Yep.
all this original artwork, came out amazing. We're gonna be using it year after year. He helped out with the, whatchamacallit, the art show. Um,
Yep.
he
Yeah.
showed up with it
His piece was
in a
absolutely
literal
incredible.
gypsy caravan full of art, and yeah, dude, he was just like, "Anything you need, I got it." He made it. It was effortless on our part. That's the thing that was so
Yep.
helpful, is, like, being able to delegate a task, and it just gets taken care of 100%, and he absolutely crushed it, and he was so excited the whole time to be a part of it. So, Chad, dude, I love you, man. You fucking killed it, and, hopefully he already agreed to be a part of Idle Hands too. Um, the other
Yeah.
people involved in the show, Kenny's House of Horsepower and Fat Man, they ran the drags, but moreover, and probably more importantly, they opened their hearts and their shop to all the builders in
Mhm.
Idle Hands for days before, dude. That place was rowdy for like the week leading up, dude. There was builders in there and out of there. A side and B side. A side and B side, dude. He
Yep.
fucking stayed up. I saw text threads at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning and shit. You know, like they really
Yep.
hit it hard. So much respect for Fat Man for doing that. We didn't ask him to do that. I didn't even have that idea in my head. He just offered it up. I just
Yep.
saw it
It's all
come
him.
up in the group chat on the fucking builders thread, and they're like, if anybody needs help, Fat Man's shop is open. And they didn't do the work for him. They helped by
Right.
supervising and giving them some hints, but like they weren't you didn't drop your bike off at Fat Man's you got to work, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
In the 11th hour, when you're one of those builders and you are desperate to get that bike running, Fat Man is the guy you want over your shoulder going, try this, check this, check this, check this. This is how you check that. Not touching it. I saw a photo of him holding a fucking wiring diagram up to John Luke that's like, dude, it was like fucking college professor. So, yeah, that's the guy. So, thank you so much, Steve. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, everybody over at Fat Man Custom Motors. Thank you to Emma and Piper for being the flag girls and stuff for the drags. The drags are a huge hit. It was awesome.
yeah, that's the one thing I didn't get to see much of because it was like that day was just so packed with shit. It was like every hour we're launching something else. Another
Yep.
shout out to our ringleader of the Chopper games, Jesse, aka Powder Chef. That dude showed up in a motherfucking pimp outfit with a big purple hat and like a leopard skin fur jacket, dude. And he brought his own megaphone. We forgot to buy hot dogs for the hot dog thing, but Jesse kept it going. And
Yep.
yeah, dude, he absolutely crushed it. And thank you, Jesse. Hopefully we get to do that again next year, and hopefully we'll be prepared with hot dogs. Dan, how
And
much
what
time
sucks
and money
is,
did you spend on that
dude,
thing?
I spent 2 almost full days assembling and then painting that thing. It was about $170 in fucking lumber and hardware. And dude, not one person came up to me or did I hear whispering like that we need hot dogs for the thing. For one, There was a gas station down the street that sold hot dogs. There was a Market Basket down the street that definitely sold hot dogs. And when I talked to Rowan, they have fucking hot dogs in the fucking building at Harley. So unfortunately,
Ready
I
to
didn't
go.
catch word of it, or I would have fucking come out. I would have come out slinging hot dogs from every orifice.
Yeah.
But yes, unfortunately, we did
Yeah.
miss that. We wanted to do it on Sunday, and I brought a thing of hot dogs on Sunday, but ain't nobody showed up on Sunday. So next year for sure, we're
Yeah.
not throwing that thing away. The hot dog hangman will be back.
Yeah. We're not throwing any of this shit away.
All right, we got it.
Um, all right. Do you have a list of some of the other helpers that
I
we
have
want
a
to shout out?
massive list. Yes.
All right. Let's just
Yeah,
run down
I
them
have
real
a
quick because I want
huge
to get into
list.
the recap. But
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm just gonna blast through some of
yeah,
this stuff real quick. We'll cover stuff in depth.
yeah.
Firstly, I want to
I'm gonna
thank the
zip my.
artists. All right, I'll be quick. Firstly, I want to start with the artists that contributed to the Dirty Dozen. Thank you all so much. All your art was incredible. Colleen at Aces High Glassworks, Alex at Vicious Iris, Mikey Machine Paints, Kurt Desario of Glory Days, Tony of Undesirable Goods, Matt of Burnt Up Customs, John Luke of Stay Strong Co., who bailed me out on the fabrication one, Chris of Mr. SOS, Muzzy the Wop, of course, Ron Murray with the Winners Trophy, Nate Plum, and next, I wanted, yeah, the Builders A side, the Freak Show. Want to thank you all those guys for coming. John and Bubba with their People's Champ bike, and also thank you guys for parking in the display and everything at the Freak Show. It looked amazing. Matt over at Kick Me Customs, his digger looked amazing. Jekka, his flathead. Derek Savage with his pan. Fish had War Turkey out there. It looked fucking right at home. Dusty brought his shovel out. That thing was so dope. Sure, we'll talk about that. Clay had his digger out there, his RE5 rotary bike. Ricky Muffin Top with our Freak Show pick was out there. That Triumph was amazing. Burke's Pan, all the other ones that were out there, it was amazing. Absolute, like that lineup could headline any chopper show ever, as far as I'm concerned. For the helpers, Dead Kev, huge help to Dead Kev. He's been instrumental this whole process. He's helped us move shit, everything. Thank you, Kev. John Moorhead and Bubba, huge help. Those guys came out, stayed with me. They ended up being my right hand men. We'll talk more about that. And Jared Bake with 2Ks. That dude was around all weekend helping out anywhere he could be. Clay, Zach, and Amber, they all came up together. Clay and his Canadian friends, they helped us with anything we needed. Astro Man, Cross, Jesse again, Bruce, Dean, the sound guy. Huge thank you to you. Eric, Bougie Billy, Alex, Justin, my buddy Justin Turk, who came and helped me build a bunch of this shit and helped set up on the day. My wife, Kayla and Connor, Hallie, our friend that helped us at the merch tent. They all handled it all day. Eddie, who came out with John Luke and Jess, and John Luke and Jess, thank you for helping. Nate Bev, so many other people, so many of the other builders were just like, hey, I'm here, I'm loaded, I'm going to help. So a fuckload of the actual builders, like they wouldn't say no, they wouldn't take a no for an answer. So they were just there instrumental helping the whole weekend. Our sponsors, obviously, the tattooers, Carly, Jake, Ellie, Jimmy, Brendan. Thank you guys. And Rick from Black Dog. Thank you guys for being there. Dean Landry was out there. It was amazing to see him out there getting photos of everybody. That was awesome. The bands, Give Up Hope, Stab, Bullshit Detector, Colin of Arabia, Cruel Hand. Thank you all so much for playing. Our vendors, we had a bajillion vendors out there. I just want to shout out Lizzie's Glizzies. She sold out, completely sold out. It was
And
amazing. Thank you
congrats
guys
on
so
your
much for blowing up
first
her
show.
spot. It was
Yeah.
so cool to see. She was beaming. Like it was awesome. That was one of my favorite moments of the whole
I
weekend.
love
So that
how
was
they
awesome.
hang out as a family too. They had the daughter there, they had
Yeah,
Austin there, Matt's out there. Like,
yeah.
that's the kind of
They're all
family you wanna
involved.
build, dude. You know?
For real. 100%. Everybody has found their niche and it just so happens to all coexist at the same show. And it's like yeah, I mean, that's some real heartwarming shit. I've told Matt 100 times, you've won, man. If my kids like me half as much as yours do when I'm your age, you fucking win. That's the lottery right there. You did it right. So love those guys. Walteza was out there slinging parts all weekend. Thank you so much, dude. Muzzy, I wanted to shout out his gypsy trailer tent thing is so fucking cool. You guys got to check it out. Deadbeat Customs was out there, and then the food trucks, specifically Dead Proof Pizza, absolutely unreal. If you guys missed it, you fucked up.
I
Their
missed it.
tenders and pizza is
I was walking up to the truck as
off
it
the
drove
fucking hook.
away and closed its shutters.
No, you missed it.
I missed it.
All right. Well, at least you're local. We can go get it
I
whenever
did
you
get a
want.
tender.
So
My kids got a
that's
tender
pretty
there,
much
and I did do the dad tax, and I was like, "Give me that tender, son."
there you go. Oh, they're absolute crack, and it was cool. I got to see Dante. He's an old friend of mine, so it was good to catch up with him. So, Yeah, amazing. That was my short list. I'm certain that I missed a bunch of people, and I'm so sorry if I did. Obviously, we'll be talking about this for a long time, and all the
Yeah.
stories will come to light, and we'll give you your due credit. But thank you
Yeah,
so much to everybody that was involved, whether I forgot you or
thank
not.
you. I have
And
a couple people, like the helpers came in true chopper dude fashion late, right? Like in the
yeah,
game. Like me
oh
and
yeah,
you, I want to shout out some of the people that reached out, like Sarah Brightburn. She came out. She drove actually
yep,
a long way. I think I want to say Delaware or something. Sarah, let us know. She came out with Timmy Swims and Fishes. They had, I think he's Delaware
hmm
or Maryland or something, but traveled all the way up. They were stoked on the show. They offered to help. People like that reached out early. And I was like, I remember the week before, me and you were like, yeah, I think we got like 10 people helping. And Rowan's like, oh, that's great.
yeah,
But it turns out we need like 50. But the day of the show, like
yeah,
you said, like the people that were in the show, all of our homies showed up. Everybody pitched in. Everybody was helping. Everybody was walking up. Me and Dan were like, I thought we were going to get way more set up on Friday, but it turns out 90% of this got set up on Saturday morning, and we're running around like fucking
yeah.
idiots. And we couldn't have, it definitely wouldn't have been done if it was just me and Dan helping, or even if we had 3 or 4 people helping.
No,
So I really
yeah,
appreciate everybody came in and was just like, what do I do next? And we're like, build a stage, get an army, and then
dude,
they're like, stage is done, and then it's like,
straight up. 10 minutes later,
huge shout out, Death Resistance. He came out to help.
yeah,
That motherfucker was scaling the Satan wall on one side, no ladder to hold bolts and drill shit
yep,
in, dude, like a fucking like a gorilla. And then also huge shout out to
and
him
also,
for fucking manning the carnival games, the only one that wasn't derelict of his duties. He
yes,
was doing the carnival games so huge shout out to him, dude. And he's not a man of many words. He just like, what do you need?
nope.
And he gets it done. And I hope he builds next year for this show, but he couldn't this year
Me
because he
too.
had a baby. I didn't ask him actually if he had it or not. I think it's due in September if I'm remembering correctly, but
I can't remember.
I can't remember. But anyways, he's an awesome dude. I also fucking forgot when we are
Yeah.
talking about the builders, Big Inch Electroglide,
Oh yeah, dude.
Snowdercycle.
Fuck.
Dude, the fucking
Forget that,
Snowdercycle.
dude.
This thing is going to be in every fucking magazine that you read. It's going to be
Yeah.
in People magazine. It's a
Yeah.
It's a pull start two-stroke fucking Arctic Cat in a fully custom frame that he built out of stainless steel. It was one of the most impressive pieces of machinery I've ever seen. It's one of those bikes. I mean, there's several bikes in there that you're gonna see for the rest of this year that debuted at this show. That one is gonna be in every major show that he can get to because it's
Yeah.
so impressive, dude, what he did. There's not
Yep.
another single motorcycle like that anywhere in the world, I guarantee it.
Nope.
As soon as he rolled it
It
off,
was one
when we
where
saw him roll it off on Friday night, I was
yeah.
just everybody was flabbergasted, all right, if I can turn a phrase. But everybody, like, you see this thing, it's just shining in the goddamn sunlight, and you're just like, "What the fuck am I even looking at?" It's like when I pull my pants down and I haven't shaved my pubes in a while. You're like, "What am I looking at? What is this mess?" But his was immaculate. It wasn't like an unshorn
Uh,
plate of spaghetti like my genitals. But yeah, I can't believe
oh my god.
I missed it because my camera was in the way, but I gotta shout him out because he went big, dude. He went big on that thing, and he fucking delivered.
Big time. Yeah. One of my favorites for sure.
All right, so I'm sure we'll as we go, I think through the recap, we might even start remembering even more people to thank for this wonderful show.
For sure.
But before we move on, the most important VIPs of the Idle Hand Show have got to be our fucking celebrity judges.
100%.
John Moorhead, and we'll get into him, but he's basically our brother now. I
Yeah.
feel like he's like our brother. Like I would take a bullet for
100%.
him and Bubba. But
Yeah. Without even
as
yep.
an idle hands judge, dude, uh, he put so much work into it and so much care, and he was so excited and enthusiastic about this. Like it was just a perfect match. Big Truth, dude. Big Truth is again like he through this process, like we go to all the same stuff. He's a New England chopper guy. We're New England chopper guys. We're at all the same stuff. That motherfucker is as solid as they come, and he's an old school cat, and I really respect him for the way that he conducts himself, I'll say, you know?
Yeah.
But what a he's bulletproof, dude. That guy is fucking awesome. So thank you, Big Truth. John and Craig at the Easy Co. First of all, John is the most fun person I've ever met in my life, maybe. He's just
Yeah.
fun to be around. He's a ball of fucking energy. Imagine a cartoon that got in a fight with a bunch of chopper parts and they're rolling around in a big cloud and you see a fist and some motorcycle bars come out of that cloud. That's what he is wherever he goes. He has the biggest personality. And I love that Craig is the polar opposite. He's the chillest
Mhm.
dude. He's just like, "What's up?" They show up on just like the coolest bikes. They have the best attitude. They're so helpful and so encouraging and shit. So, anyways, all three of our judges, dude, we picked you guys because we respected you so much, but now we respect you even more because you turned out to be the people that we thought. We picked celebrities, you know, and they say never meet your heroes, but make an exception for these guys. All right. So, do you want to roll into a recap? Is there anybody off top of your dome that we forgot that we absolutely need to thank?
Not that I can think of, no. But like you
Okay.
said, I'm sure we'll think of some as we go along.
Yeah. So let's roll into the recap and I'll jog my memory a little bit. I am fried, dude, by
Yep.
the way. We're not doing a 4-day event
Mhm.
again because that was a long ass 4 days for my brain to be able to handle. I had to pace myself. I'm a raging alcoholic. I can't be around late nights, booze, and motorcycles for 4 days straight. I was on a straight up bender, but I did compose myself a bit. Courier
You
Gallery of
did.
Art was wicked sick, dude. It was mad chill. We didn't have to do anything or set
Mhm.
anything up, but they put it all together. Uh, the Danny Lyon exhibit was dope. It was surreal to see fish tanks, bikes in a museum like that with a
Mhm.
bunch of museum goers, you know? That was cool to see. These different cultures like
Very.
melding together.
Yeah.
But it was a great welcome party because it was laid back. They had some booze, they had some food. You could go in and check out like, dude, once you're in the museum, dude, you're just like it my blood pressure went down like 30 points, dude. You're walking in there, you're looking at
Yeah.
Picasso's, you're looking at this and that, you know, you're enjoying art. And then right smack dab in the middle of this beautiful museum is choppers and fucking outlaw biker pictures and shit. It was dope.
It really was, yeah. Very cool experience.
Yeah, dude, they did a really great job. If you're in the New England area and you didn't get a chance to see it, you should go up to the Courier Gallery. It's cooler than I remember. I hadn't been there in a long ass time. They got some really nice shit in there and some a gigantic art installation outside. I don't even know what it is, but it moves around. It's like a giant windmill or what are those things? Weather vane or something.
Yeah, it's like some sort of kinetic art. It's really cool. It's like
Yeah.
30 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very cool. I've never been there before, but that was awesome.
Which is insane because you live 5 minutes from there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never
What
been.
turned out, by the way, the place to be was the Fairfield over in Hooksett because it was mad close to
Yeah.
the Courier, 815, and Harley. So for all 4 days, I was
Yeah.
like, I could drive this. You know what I mean? But
Uh-huh.
yeah, dude, it was sick. But that was just chill event. People were showing up as like I met a lot of the dudes there for the first time that were builders that came out.
Yep.
So that was the cool thing about that event. It was just like kinda laid back, "What's up?" Got to talk. There's no loud music, there's none of that shit, you can just talk and catch up and shit. So that was a dope time, but then we roll into Friday, and we go over to Harley. Oh, actually, I'll back up a second. I had to before I went to Harley, I had to take some of the boys down to Chez Vachon to get an authentic French Canadian breakfast on the west side of Manchester. If you haven't had Chez Vachon, then you haven't had the real Rimmon Heights experience, okay?
Mm.
Rimmon Heights is one of the grossest places in Manchester, right, Dan? I mean, it's pretty
Yep.
fucking gross, and it's pretty dangerous.
Oh,
That's where
yep.
Sam, the traveling nurse, Shovel Sam, used to live. But Chez
Yeah.
Vachon, dude, this place was like a holdout back when they, like, said you couldn't smoke cigarettes in restaurants anymore. This place, like, held out for, like, years, dude. Those ashtrays, they had them in there. They had white knuckles holding onto those glass ashtrays, and I used to go there and skip school and just drink black coffee and smoke fucking a pack of butts. But they do authentic French Canadian cuisine, which is absolutely garbage. All right. So we got a little bit. I went there, Bougie Billy, Jared, and Cross. We went down there. I got some poutine, which some of you fucking foo-foos from Paris might call it poutine, but it's poutine on the west side of Manchester. They have a sign on the door, and if you don't say it right, they won't serve you. They also have Gorton, is disgusting as well, but I love it because it brings me back to my childhood. Because that's the shit my grandparents are all from, like, Sherwood, Montreal, in Canada. When I was a kid, everybody's first language was French. Everybody spoke French Canadian. So, yeah, Gorton, look it up. It's basically rendered pork fat, and it tastes like licorice, and it's about as gross as you can imagine. But I had a side of that to charge up the batteries and some poutine, if you haven't had poutine, cheese curd gravy and french fries, which is the old artery clogger. We had actually, they serve booze there too. So me and Bougie Billy had some of that. Also, just in your mind, imagine that every about half an hour, Cross will come up to you with a bottle of maple bourbon, maple whiskey from Canada, and force you to take a shot. So throughout this entire
Mhm.
weekend, from the Courier Gallery to breakfast at Chez Vachon to Sunday, just imagine every 20 minutes you're taking a swig of maple whiskey, which is dangerously delicious. It tastes like you're swigging maple syrup. But um, yeah, anyways, we went to Chez Vachon, then we went to Harley to start setting up, and that was a comedy of errors. Dan bought us a tent for the you can tell
Mhm.
the story about
Uh,
the tent because this didn't exactly pan out had we how we imagined.
yeah, per fucking usual. So my Thursday night ended with John and Bubba were both staying with me all weekend. So we all ended up back here. And then Doom called ended up swinging by. So John and Bubba were working on their bike, their absolute fucking masterpiece of a bike, and I had a crude a clutch spring plate assembly kit from you that day, and that was the only thing holding me back from starting the panhead. So I jammed that in there. We were up till the very wee sun was coming up hours of the morning, and we got a couple hours of shut eye and got up and said, "Fuck, we're too late for breakfast," and we just fucking beat feet straight to Harley. And yeah, so we started meeting people there and seeing bikes and whatever. Started ushering some bikes into where we were storing them overnight and whatnot. And then yeah, we went to. I had bought this fucking. It wasn't even Timu. I bought it off fucking Home Depot, and
Oh, that was a Home Depot buy?
it was like 20. It was Home Depot, bro. Yeah, I know. It wasn't even fucking like everybody kept calling it the Timu, and I kept calling it Timu, but it was a Home Depot fucking purchase. So it was like I should have known. It was a 20 by 10 tent with walls and with walls all the way around. And it was $110 shipped or some shit. Right. So I should have known, but it was fucking plastic. It wasn't even PVC. It was like fucking basically thick straws that fucking slid into these fucking slightly thicker straws with different legs and arms, and
None of it
kept
stuck
falling
together though.
apart. We had to tape the
That's
whole
the thing is
fucking
putting
thing.
it together, you'd put
Yeah.
it in, and then it would just you'd, like, erect it, and it would slide out.
Yeah. It was shit. It was very similar, but honestly less well built than like the little fucking princess tent that I got my daughter up in her room that, it's like fucking they just slot in together or whatever, and then you put the canopy on. Yeah. We had it set up for a minute. And then I forget we went back to moving bikes, or we were assembling the entryway or whatever it was, and someone came running around the corner and they're like, "Your art tent's fucked."
Now I got a call
And I was
from
like,
Rowan.
"Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen."
So I got
Oh, okay.
yeah, she called it. We were all in the back, stacking bikes, and Rowan called, and she's like, "There's a slight problem with the tent." So I went around the corner, and the
Uh-huh.
fucking thing had just imploded on itself. Irreparable at this point. And you also grazed over the fact that we had to tape it together because it wouldn't stay together as is. So
Right.
at first we had some duct tape, and when we ran out of that, we started using painter's tape.
Yep.
So the fucking thing was an
Yep, it was,
atrocity from the get go, and then the wind, just a slight wind blew it to absolute smithereens. This thing was not. We at that point we were like, all right, we need a plan B because we're not putting this thing back together.
yeah, and luckily, Harley being as amazing as they are, Rowan was like, "We have 3 Harley branded, like, whatever, really nice easy ups that we're not using. If you guys wanna use them," and we were like, "Oh, fuck, we could do our tent, and then the next 2 could be the art show tent. That'd be perfect." So we just did that instead, and they were like really, really nice easy ups. And I was intending it would have never worked because if you were there, you saw like on the inside of the easy ups, I hung curtains and fucking lights and like all sorts. Like, there's no way that other one was ever gonna fucking
It's better
survive.
that
So
it came down with nobody inside it, no art inside it.
exactly,
Yeah,
and no art inside it. Exactly.
yeah.
That 100%. That's why like immediately when I saw how like dainty it was, I was like, dude, is the second this thing buckles, I'm going to Walmart and getting easy ups. Like,
Yeah.
it's not even a big deal. Like, I'll go right now. It's not a big deal. So when it collapsed, I was like, guys, don't even like try and save it. It's still sitting in a pile out in my front yard.
You
Like
just
don't
threw it
try and like
we just loaded
undo
it up
each
and
one.
threw
I was like,
chunks
just
of it into the back of your truck,
yeah,
and we're like, there it
yeah.
sat for the rest of the weekend.
Hmm.
But the alternative one that you put up did work because you were able to use the walls
Yeah.
of it, and, we
Right.
had, good structurally sound easy ups. So,
Yep.
yeah, we
For
didn't we
sure.
didn't get a whole lot we got a lot of bikes loaded, but we didn't get a lot of the stuff. We couldn't put up, like, the entranceway that I had built because they still had customers coming in, and we had to get over to 815 for the VIP party. So, just kinda you had that we had most of the tents set up, and then we had a couple of vendors, like Deadbeat came the night before and set up their stuff to get a good spot. Chad came, Muzzy the Wop set up his shit, his gypsy
Yep.
caravan, which is again, I was like, "You're parking it right here, buddy, because this thing looks awesome." But yeah, then we headed over. We didn't get much set up that day. We got partially built the front, the entranceway
Yep.
to be, and that was a pain in the ass too because I put it together in
Yep.
my driveway, which is not completely level like the pavement in the Harley parking lot. So and we had
Right.
very limited tools. We didn't have a drill bit or any of that shit. So we used hammers, and John and Bubba actually got us through using their old noodles. But anyways, we got that partially set up, and then we headed over to the pre-party over at 815. Shout out to Ryan over there at 815. That place is so dope, dude.
It really is. And he took real good care of us, as he always does.
Yeah.
Like, thank you so much, Ryan, for having us. He was having a blast. He was passing out Malort shots. It was fucking awesome. We
He
had an
bought he
absolute
brought he
blast at that
bought that
place.
bottle for that night. So thank you for he got the
Mhm.
Connect, dude, and he put it out on the table, and the Malort was flowing. We had Wood Stacker, our beer guy. He came over
Yep.
and super nice dude, and he was super
Mike.
appreciative of the opportunity, as we were, to have our own beer.
Yep.
It debuted that night. People really liked it. So I hope they sold out of that night because I think he had a few cases of it. I was
Yeah.
drinking as
Yeah, I
many as
wonder.
I could, but 815 also makes the greatest old fashioned I've ever had in my entire life. So once I
That is
switched to
correct.
bourbon, dude,
Yes.
it was over.
Yep. I made sure I had one as well. That's the first like strictly liquor drink I've had in a long time. And yeah, it was good, man. Straight up, it is the best old fashioned that there is.
They must get those
And the
cherries
food too, like
imported from, like,
they don't
Germany or some shit, dude. I've never had a cherry that good.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Dude, even their fucking water, they're like the water that they give you on the table, it's not like I'm serious, it's not Manchester Tap. It's like
Yeah,
straight up, it's like cucumber water, cucumber lime or whatever it is,
yeah,
and it's the most refreshing shit ever. But everything there, the food there too, they're not like a restaurant. They're a cocktails bar, right? So they have like the tapas and kind of appetizers type stuff. But dude, you could get a fucking like a brick, like a literal cinder block of fucking this focaccia bread that'll change your life for like $5. And then the pizza was like mind blowing teacup pepperoni, fucking like unbelievable pizza.
yeah,
Like everything there, they don't do like big meals. You're not getting a fucking burger and a steak there, but you get a pizza and split it with a couple people. Like, oh, it's mind blowing. It's so
yeah,
fucking good. Their drinks are amazing and all that shit.
yeah, and it was a
It
great
was so much
time. It
fun.
was a great place to meet everybody that we hadn't met yet. Like, a lot of people came from out of town, like all the builder, the freak show builders, like Dusty showed up there and got to check out.
Yep.
And you got to we're gonna have to get Dusty back on because that fucking bike that he built, it was so gnarly, dude. Like the handlebars, the
Yeah.
front end, like it was just so gnarly. I'm so glad I got to catch him outside. The lineup outside of fucking 815 was dope, dude. They had Knuckles from New Jersey and shit. I think those were
Yeah.
fucking Ethan Kahn's buddies. They had there was like a knucklehead and some other fucking shit. I don't remember, but they were dope ass choppers. Everybody was
Those
super
dudes
chill,
were
dude,
rad as hell too.
and we were just the booze was flowing, everybody was chilling. Like,
Yeah.
again, 815, dude, if you are a single, uh, lady or a single man and you wanna impress your date, bring them to 815, dude. Get some cocktails,
For real.
get some of that focaccia, dude, before you bump uglies. Get some cushion for the
Oh my
pushing.
god.
I had some of that shit, and I don't eat a lot of bread, dude, right now. I was putting some focaccia down. I had one I'm like,
I've
"Maybe I'll have,
never
like, a little bit, dude," and I was just eating loaf after loaf of focaccia bread.
yeah. I've never had focaccia like that before, ever in my whole life. It was unfucking real. But
I got
yeah,
that
it was super
charcuterie
sick. Thank
board
you again, Ryan.
charcuterie
That's
board with
life
fucking
changing
with
food.
that focaccia bread and the fucking brie, like, the melted brie and the jam and shit. I musta
Yeah, dude.
and like you were saying, the pizza, I had this pizza that it was like a sausage pizza or whatever, spicy as fuck. But every time I took a bite of any of the food, and there's tons of food out, I came in my pants, just like a little bit, like when you have a wet dream. It wasn't like a full load, but like every sip
Becomes yeah,
of the old fashioned, every sip of the Idle Hands beer, every time I took a little bit of that brie, smeared it on the focaccia, just a little bit of pre cum came out. It was amazing.
yeah.
So, yeah, dude, we had fucking Malort and a bunch of yucks and got to hang out and chill. Again, it was another chill night. We were pacing ourselves at this
Yeah.
point, and we knew that the big damn show was the next day. So, yeah, I think we headed out. I went back to the hotel room. You went home, and then bright
No,
and early on
we
Saturday.
went to the B-side
Oh
party,
fuck, I
dude.
forgot about that. Yeah, we went to the B side
Yeah.
party.
We went to a whole ass yeah. Rhino's probably doesn't remember much at this point.
I had at
Rhino had a
least
couple 2
four of those
treat old
old-fashions, dude.
fashions.
At least four.
Yeah.
I can
And
put
you
them
had at
down.
least 2 of the Idle Hands beers, I think. So yeah, Rhino was feeling pretty good. But yeah,
Damn right.
we waddled on down to Strange Brew and met up with like there were so many motherfuckers down there, dude. Inside, outside, everywhere. People flowing in, people flowing out. It was sick. A bunch of the people came from the pre-party, our pre-party, and went down there, and it was just it all mixed.
Hellbound Brit and Greasy Chop
Yep.
House, they were there. I got to meet I didn't know that dude was a literal giant. He's like 8 feet tall.
Yeah. He's so
He's
funny,
a
dude. I
nice guy,
love
but
that dude.
I'm glad I'm on his good side because he looks like he could
Yeah, for
literally
sure.
tear me in half like the troll from Beowulf, you know?
Yeah. 100%. Yep. Super, super nice dude.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, it
oh,
was
actually,
awesome, dude. There were a ton of
the
B-siders there.
Seasiders too, they had the Candia Road Brewing.
Sun Chasers.
Yeah. No, the Candia Road Brewing pre-party that they did,
Oh,
by the time we got over there, because they shut at, like, 9 or something, so they were all over there too, like Davey Sprocket and, his buddy
right.
there.
Tater, yeah.
Tater. I wanted to say tuna fish, I'm like, "That's not right." I knew it was something Southern, but,
Yeah,
yeah, all of them.
yeah,
Obviously, big ass Jess and, Jean-Luc. We had to coax
yep.
Jean-Luc
And
away from
Eddie.
Fat Man because he had a weekend, dude. He could not get his fucking bike going, dude, and he was pissed about it.
Yeah, but that's he knows that's choppers, and he still he rallied. He had a great time. I saw him all weekend. That thing came out fucking awesome. His bike is so fucking rad.
Actually, yeah, the
I
first
could have
time I
looked at
saw
it.
his bike was the morning Friday morning on our way to breakfast. The guy at the hotel was like, "Hey, can you get these fucking bikes off?" Him and Bougie Billy and someone else parked their bikes right in front of the door of the hotel under the security camera on the sidewalk. So me and Cross were going out or me and Jake were going out or someone. I was with someone and they were like, "Hey, can you move those pieces of shit off my sidewalk?" And looked, I had no idea whose bike it was. I didn't know it was Jean-Luc's. I knew it was Bougie Billy's, but I didn't know who the fuck's other bike that was because I hadn't seen it yet. But it was Jean-Luc's, and he wasn't even there to move it. Then he got pissed at me for moving it. He's like, "Who the fuck touched my bike?" JK. JK.
Shit. Yeah, dude. It was a tough weekend all around, man. Motherfuckers were literally right up to this point that we are now, Saturday morning. Like people are literally wrenching on shit at this point still, including myself. Actually, I skipped over the fact that Friday morning, so Thursday night we worked on our bikes all night. But by the time I got my clutch shit all figured out and my motor would actually spin, it was like 2:30 in the morning. And I was like, I'm not going to wake up my kids. And also, I know that if I try and start it and it kind of starts, I'm going to keep working on it until it does start.
Right.
So I was like, I'm just going to call it. So morning came, I didn't bother starting it, fucking loaded it up in the truck, brought it to Harley, unloaded it. And of course, when I unloaded it, there's a bunch of people standing around and they're like, fucking kick it over, man. And I'm like, no, 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 no. And I give them the same spiel. If I try to now, I'm gonna be working on it till 2:30. We don't have that kind of time. And they're like, fuck that. Just start it. Just try and start it real quick. See what happens. I'm like, all right, fuck it. And that motherfucker started like 4 kicks, 4 or 5 kicks. That thing fucking started up. And I'm so fucking glad that it did it there. I'm so glad that I didn't start here like a week prior or whatever, you know what I mean? Just me by myself. Like it would have been still cool, but the fact that it was there and like so many of my friends were around, old friends, new friends, and they all saw it for the first time. And there was like, people got photos and video of it and stuff. It was really special. And I even told Maddie, the GM over at Harley, like, I'm forever emotionally attached to your dealership now, specifically that little side lot over there, because like it happened right there. You know what I mean? And then yeah, it was all fucking smooth sailing for me from there. But so yeah,
Yeah.
Friday was fucking sick. Friday was awesome. Got everybody home, and again, we stayed up all fucking goddamn night and woke up the next morning. Fucking honestly, dude, I wasn't sure I was gonna make it. I was not feeling well. I didn't even tell you this. Saturday morning, I woke up and I was like, I don't know, man. Something was wrong. Like my guts were not good. I felt like I was gonna throw up all morning. Like it was bad. I felt really dizzy. I think it was just, everything was shaking out and really excited and whatever. But yeah, it was like I took a Zofran and a fucking like handful of Tums. Luckily, by the time I got to Harley, I was better. But yeah, it was gnarly in the morning. But
Yeah,
yeah, loaded everything up and then
I was feeling a little bit, I was feeling pretty good, I was feeling pretty confident until I got to
yeah,
Harley and we actually started setting everything up, and I had to put
yeah,
the archway together, which thanks again, Harley, because they had fucking ladders and stuff that I didn't have but needed, but, bolted that bitch
right,
together. It took a little bit. It was again, it was just hot as fuck, but everybody dude, it was great. Everybody just was there to help, and I'm like, "Hand me those bolts, hold me that, hold this bolt, do this, do that," and everybody just came together, dude, and there's no fucking way I would still be trying to set that thing up by myself if I was by myself, and that was my plan. My
yeah.
plan was to have no help, I'm like, "Oh, I
I
put it
know you
together and
said
took
you
it
were gonna do
apart.
it by yourself.
I put it together
Yeah,
and took it
you were
apart by
like,
myself." Yeah,
I know you. But there were so many of us there. You were like, no, I got it. You guys
yeah,
go do something else. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
yeah.
No.
Sometimes I'd be stupid, Maybe I'm a little bit
Mm.
too proud,
We're just
but
Yeah, we're just hard headed like that, dude. I get it.
yeah, I'm like, "I can do this by myself. You guys go do something else. You go help someone that needs help." But turns out that was me. We got that thing set up, and dude, I'm so glad to see the amount of pictures taken in front of that thing. That means people thought it was rad, and that was what it was for, is to,
Oh,
like,
dude.
park bikes in, get some fucking good photos. It's pretty great, and next year I'm gonna make it even better. It's gonna be even bigger and even badder, but yeah, dude, I'm proud of that thing, and I'm thankful that everybody else thought it was cool too. I got a lot of compliments on it. But yeah, then setting up, it was just like, dude, that was a whirlwind, just like,
Yeah.
you know, everybody was scurrying around, and like I said, it's like people were coming up and like, "What do I do?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know. I'm doing this. I think that needs to be done." But we got it all together, and we got it all together by like 11 o'clock. So we started at like
Hmm.
what time? 7, 8, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was about 8 when we were actually like
Let's
moving
get
shit
some shit
around,
done.
parking bikes. And
Yeah. So, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 4 hours, parking bikes. We got everything set up, and it was time I ran back to the hotel room because I was a fucking sweaty mess, and I was like, "Nobody's gonna wanna talk to me like this in this condition." I
yeah, I
went
didn't
back.
go anywhere. I was still setting up the fucking art show.
Yeah. I took a nice quick shower, and then I came back, and it was time. It was go time by that time. I think it was like right at 12. So right at 12, people started coming in. We're just chilling. And then at like 12:30, we're like, all right, it's time to get going. Let's start these bitches up, dude. And we had A side and B side and the freak show start their bikes all up. It was a goddamn clusterfuck. It was nowhere near as orderly as I had imagined it in my head.
No,
But with that many
no.
people, dude, like I had a bullhorn, and I was just like, with the amount of people that were there at that time. And by the way, thank you everybody for being punctual. I really respect that too.
Yes.
People came in at noon, dude. Everybody was there, dude, and people were coming. We started up all the bikes, and I actually, even though it was all fucked up because it just it just happened, like I was over talking to the B
Yeah.
side. I'm like, we're getting ready. And then the Ace I just started fucking kicking them over. But then I was just like, "Start your bikes,
They got
everybody."
excited.
And to hear that many bikes starting up at the same time was so fucking dope, dude. And that's what we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier. Everybody's helping each other out, A side, B side, anybody whose bike wasn't starting. And then we're like, "All right, let's kick this motherfucker off, dude." And we did. What was the next thing? Oh yeah, drag started going. The fucking chopper
We did the
game
redemption
started.
pick.
What's that? Oh, we did the redemption
We did
pick.
the
That's right.
redemption pick.
Yeah. Yeah, we did the
Yep.
redemption
That
pick.
was
That was the
insane.
first order of business. And we told you that was
Yep.
motherfucking Choppas with the fucking slick
Yep.
lean on the Yami. I don't even know if Yamaha guys call it that, but that's what I call him.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, he was
Yamaha.
stoked, and he worked hard, man, and he's been a friend of the show for a long time. So big ups to that dude. I'm glad he
Yep.
got in. And like I would have had a really
Absolutely.
hard time because there were so many great B-side bikes. And again, like that was probably the hardest decision because at the day of the show, the judges wanted to do unanimous decision. You know what I mean? So they all were talking to each other,
Yeah.
and they're like, they didn't wanna do the voting thing, which I respect. When you're talking about 150 bikes, rank ordering makes a lot more sense, but when you only have, like, a handful of bikes, it makes more sense just everybody agrees, like a jury.
Yeah. Yep.
But, yeah, then we had the redemption pick, and then we kicked off the games, the drags, which was super silly, which was awesome. We had
It was so
Choppers
much
going down
fun.
there. We had fucking Ricky Muffin Top doing fucking wheelies down that shit on his fucking electric gyroscope or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, dude. It was just fun. It was a wicked short track, so it was sketchy as fuck, and there was like a bunch of trucks and trailers down at the end of it. But yeah, people were
And
just
porta
sending it.
potties.
Yeah, and we had it that was one of those last minute changes where we had it all planned out for another area, and, like, the night before or the day before or whatever, they're like, "Hey, can we do this area instead?" So we
Yeah.
had to fucking move a bunch of shit, but that was dope, and next thing what did we do next after the chopper games was the international kickstart competition, wasn't it?
Yep. At 3 o'clock, the international kickstart competition went off. That was I really, really hope if anything other than the trophy show, I hope that somebody got that whole kickstart competition on video because it was fucking hysterical. John absolutely killed it, and it was like he just rifled through a bunch of different ways to have these guys start their bikes, and there were dude fucking Papa Titty, dude. Timmy's bike was fucking the second bike. He
Yeah,
got second place in the kickstart competition. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like that motherfucker was dialed. So it was so sick, dude. Chris, the front man from Cruel Hand, had his chopper in it. Like there were so many rad bikes in it. Dusty put his shovel in it. It was super fucking funny. John was perfect for it. John and Craig just fucking had the
John,
crowd going the whole time.
yeah,
So funny, dude.
yeah. He's
It's
really
so
good at
good.
it. In fact, I was, Danger Dan called me after the weekend to congratulate us on a great show and all that shit, and I was like, "Dude, John absolutely crushed the Kickstart competition, and he can do it every year
Mhm.
as far as I'm concerned." He did it at the, Custom
Yes.
Social, crushed that one, but the one here, it was a lot of people, and it was just a bunch of silliness, but how many people did it start with? I missed the beginning of it.
Oh,
In
dude, there was
fact,
like
John came up to me and
I
was
was
like, "Hey, shouldn't we do this now?" And because I was just lost. I was just, like, running around talking and all that shit, and he's like, "Hey, you guys wanna do this
yeah.
competition now?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 let's go." So I missed the beginning.
Yep. Yeah, I happened to be down there around the beginning, and I got to watch. I want to say no, I did watch the second half. That's right. I missed the beginning, so I made my way probably the same time you did. And then I realized while we were down there watching the Kickstart competition that we were going to be doing awards at 4, and I had forgotten something that was kind of important, and that was who the fuck is picking all of our fucking trophies? Like, we had a bunch of trophies for like best Harley and best this and best that, that like the trophy maker wasn't necessarily the
Right, right,
bike
right.
picker. So we had to not only figure out who was picking them, we had to ask them to pick one. And then we were like, you got half an hour,
Yeah.
like straight up. You got to fucking go. You've been here all day. You've looked at all the bikes. Now we need you to pick one. And everybody, thank God, everybody jumped right to it. Everybody was ready for it. And I want to give a huge shout out to Kurt. He was like, he essentially, dude, he like grabbed me by the back of the shirt and was like, yo, go get everybody that's voting and get them here so that we can all make sure we're not all picking the same bike and, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, that we
dude.
have
You know
everybody.
what?
And I was like,
That's I'm glad you
dude,
brought that up,
you
dude.
could not
Dude,
have been here.
Kurt
Yeah,
is
like could
such
not have absolute godsend.
yeah. Like he's a legit professional showrunner and like what he
Mm,
does with Glory Days is insane. But to have access to a dude like that and for him to be so forthcoming and giving us like advice and shit like that, that's just so rad, dude. And he said I didn't even think he was gonna
yeah,
come, dude, because he posted a picture
no,
like on fucking Wednesday that he had like he was in the hospital, and I was like, oh fuck, I guess he's
yeah,
out. Shit, but then he showed up, and I was like, so happy to see him, dude. What a rad dude, and
yeah.
he's so into the show portion of it. He must have been like, "Oh, fucking amateur hour over here," but he was just, like, super
I know.
supportive and so cool about it.
Yeah, Tony, fucking our boy Tony from La Spada won the Kickstart competition. It's fucking awesome. So
Yeah.
so now he's got to figure out getting down to Born Free, Texas. So he got the knife made by Nick,
Beautiful knife.
and beautiful fucking knife. Thank you so much, Nick Huff, for that. If you guys can get a knife from Nick, unbelievable knife to behold. And yeah, it was fucking awesome. The Kickstart competition was sick. Congrats, Tony.
Came down
Hopefully he
to him
makes it
and
down to
Papa
Born
Titty.
Free. Yep.
They were the final
And
2.
dude, it was like it was tight. It was tight as fuck. Like they had to like it got to the point where it was like, all right, we got to put an end to this kind of deal. You know what I mean? Like it was so tight. Those bikes ran so fucking well. They started so fucking quick. Like it was awesome. It was really cool. So yeah, congrats Tony on that. And Tony was one of our artists too, so it was cool. It was like, you know what I mean? Bunch of rad shit going on all at the same time. And then yeah, so we hustled and got everybody's picks and everything, and we got all the trophies and stuff down, and we got the big check and all that other stuff. That was fucking funny. But so we got all down there, and Bruce, our sound guy, hooked us up with the microphones, and we went off and did all that shit. And the
Did all
award
the
ceremony was
raffles.
fucking awesome. Honestly, I blacked out like like pretty much as soon as we stood in front of all those people, and I realized how many heads were in the crowd, and just seeing like there was still like a full walkways worth of people still piling in when we started. It was like, holy shit. And I just sort of blacked out. But it was fucking, it was rad from what I
I
remember.
blacked out a
We
bit.
did,
But I had a bunch of stuff. I had, like, bunch of stuff I wanted to say. I don't know if I said it because again, it's like a year in the making, guys, you know? Like, me and Dan have been
yeah,
eating, breathing, shitting idle hands for a fucking year, and that to get to that point, like, all the run like, everything we had done up to that point leads to this. Like, we did the raffles and to do the actual thing, I don't think that it happened the way that I had envisioned it, but I don't know what happened. I'm looking at pictures and I don't even remember it. Like, it would that's you
yeah,
literally, like, black out and you're just doing stuff, you know? Like, that's how much excitement because
yeah,
a whole year of living your life every fucking day talking about this shit, you know? It's
yep.
overwhelming.
Remember vividly the moment where, and this was just sort of like I went on autopilot mode, but we were doing the raffles and I was just doing my normal thing where you had the microphone and I was supporting and not being the one on the microphone very happily. And I'm pulling the fucking numbers from the cups. And then I realized logistically, like if you were to do the awards at that point, this was something that I think next year you and I have to have dialed a little bit better is because the awards were the art show. I don't know that in the moment you would have been able to been like, the wild card was made by this artist, you
I
know
had
what I
no
mean? So
idea.
I was like, fuck, I didn't want there to be like a, this one is the, which trophy is this? It's done by, who's it done by? You know what I mean? The back and forth. So I was like, I had the moment where I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to do the awards. Like I'm going to have to be the one that announces them and the artists and oh my God, dude. And I just straight up like during the raffles, I just like, totally blacked out. I started shaking uncontrollably. I could feel sweat running from my actual asshole. Like, dude, I was so fucking scared. And I had already started losing my voice. Like, I'm trying to talk over people. And I met like, I got a crash course in talking to strangers this weekend. Like, and I honestly, it was awesome. But at that point, like I was just, I don't know, I was so overwhelmed and terrified at that moment. And then I don't know, we did the raffles. It was sick. We fucking gave out some awesome fucking shit. Thank you to everybody who contributed a raffle item. I mean, we had some really, really fucking cool shit. Like we had photography, we had parts from Lowbrow, we had custom made stuff, we had all sorts of amazing shit. Stuff from Doom, like even Doom, the guy who ends up winning the damn thing was contributing to the raffle item. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
that it was so fucking rad how like everybody there wasn't just like, oh, he's just a builder. He's a builder and he's a this and he's a that and he helped and he fucking you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everybody was like that. But anyways, yeah, so we did the raffles and that was fucking awesome. And then
And
yeah,
we're
and then we
assuming
rolled
that you
into the
guys
awards.
listening here already knew that Doom won, but Doom Cult won. If you don't have Instagram,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. If you
and
don't have instant feed, somehow you haven't figured that out by now.
well, there's a lot of older folks that do not. I met him. My uncle was at the
Fair
show. He
enough.
doesn't have Instagram.
Fair
I
enough.
don't think he listens to the podcast either. Fuck you, Uncle
Mm.
Rick. Just kidding. Uh, but yeah, Doom won, and it was that moment was so surreal, and like everybody up there deserved it. You know, like I wish
Oh yeah.
that we pulled a wild card and was like, "You all win 10 grand." You know
Eh,
what I mean? Like, because
no
everybody
shit.
that got there deserved to win, you know? And but his journey this year has been wild, you know? And that's what I love about the end of this story, you know, is just that everything from his personal life to his getting out here, you know, like he broke down on the way out here. He had to turn around and get a fucking U-Haul, you know, like swapping motors 2 days before the show, like at Fat Man's, like,
Stopped to get the motor on his way out and then
yeah.
fucking slipped and split his fucking chin open and then
Oh,
ended
yeah.
up in the ER to get stitches
Yeah, dude, he
on
split
the
his
way
chin
here.
open on the motor that won him this fucking thing, and he spent a night in the ER, just like a crazy whirlwind. It's just like, I couldn't have picked a better winner, you know what I mean? If I wrote
Right.
it in a story, you know, like it was just so magical, dude. In that moment, like when he won, I don't even remember. It was such a fucking blur, you know what I mean? But like going back and
Yeah.
seeing, like, thank God people take videos and shit, and I get to see like how pumped everybody was and like how it was just fucking so great to be able to give him that fake check. And then he was like, "All right, where's the
Yeah,
real
dude.
check?"
That was yeah. That was so fucking cool, man, to see his reaction. Like when I, trying to build up all the suspense and whatnot, got everybody out by their bikes and long dramatic pause and whatever. And then I turned around and said Doom Cult and I saw him. He wasn't even looking at me. He was looking away and he looked at me like, what the fuck do you want? Kind of initially. And then he realized what I said and his eyes grew like fucking a cartoons and he just literally like me, like fucking it was hilarious and he just realized and it all hit him all at once and you could just see like holy fuck, you know what I mean? It all came to him all at once and he fucking walked his way up on stage and everybody went fucking nuts, dude. Everybody went motherfucking nuts. Everyone there went berserk. It was crazy, dude. And I'm
Yeah.
screaming at the top of my fucking lungs into a microphone, feeding back like an asshole. Like it was just such an unbelievable moment. And that luckily, that moment I do remember. I do actually quite a few people, thankfully, like Thursday and Friday were like, "Hey man," specifically John and Bubba kept telling me this. Like they're like, "Hey, you need to make sure you remember to like stop and like look and take it in for a second. Just a second, but stop. When you're up there, when you're looking at the kickstart, when you're do da 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 da, like take a mental picture and hold it for a second." And luckily that popped into my head right as we were doing the awards and shit. And like it was just unbelievable. Like my little nephew, noticed my little nephew sitting in the front row at one point, whatever. It was such an unbelievable special moment. And like giving everybody the trophies. And specifically, I wanted to make sure we mentioned the furthest traveled award and how that all went down. You cool with me telling that story,
Yeah,
Rhino?
yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. At the beginning of this, like at the very beginning of Idle Hands, we knew if you guys have been following along for a while, we lost our good friend Parker some years ago, and we've luckily kept in contact with his dad. And his dad was actually a B-side builder for this competition, and he finished the damn thing and he brought it. But at the beginning of this, we were like, we want to do something that's like Parker's pick, or have something that in memory of Parker or whatever. That ends up being like an every year thing at Idle Hands. That it's an award that gets passed down or something that the bike that embodies Parker the best. You know what I mean? So as we were thinking about what we could do, it came to us that we had an award, one of the art pieces that was for the furthest traveled. Now, this year specifically, the furthest traveled was Connor Revenant from California. So Mr. SOS did up this amazing painting of the state of California and this cool image and then just amazing artwork around it. And it got me thinking, Parker, unfortunately, when he passed, he was on his way home from a cross country trip from California where he did some amazing internship, and he really liked to travel, and he was kind of like he had that unbelievably intelligent kid, but had that vagabond spirit kind of deal. And it just seemed like the furthest traveled award would fit really well in that and kind of embody really well the California aspect. And it just sort of all kind of worked out and, got us in our feels. So we were like, yeah, let's do that. So John, his father, was there with his bike and we all got to see it and it was amazing. And John did an incredible job with the bike. He built it just like Parker would. And then he added his own flavor to it. John's a helicopter mechanic. There's all sorts of there's a genuine airspeed sensor from a helicopter on that motorcycle that works,
Yeah.
that's plumbed and like it's fucking real, like switches and knobs and lights and it is unbelievable. It's so fucking cool. And he had a huge like memory board of photos of Parker and like where the bike started and how like the process in which he had gone through to get it to where it was today and
He
all
brought
that
his
other
van.
stuff.
He
So
had his van that he went
he
cross
brought
country on too.
yeah. He brought Parker's van. It was there on site, which was amazing to see. And then that all kind of culminated. We had decided that was what we were going to do, and we hadn't really told anybody or anything that that's what it was going to be. So while we were doing the awards, we told that little story or whatever. We brought John out and had John pass the trophy to Connor. And it was a really, really special moment. It was fucking thank God I was wearing sunglasses. It was tough to get through. I saw a lot of other leaky faces, so I didn't feel so weird, but it was a real special moment. And thank you everybody for sharing and that with us, letting us do that. It was really cool, and that's going to be every single year. That's going to be a thing. One of the artists is going to do the furthest travel award from here on out. Is called Parker's Pick. So we'll have a Parker's Pick every single year, and hopefully, as long as John is willing, he will come up and actually be the one who physically passes it to its winner. So it's really
Yeah.
special. So
That was one of my favorite ideas we had for the show and one of my favorite parts of the
yeah,
show, because
me too.
it's like, I don't know, it makes it so much more the show, like, it's a show that's, like, intertwined with everybody's lives, you know what I mean? Like, that's
Yeah.
part of the whole journey of the show is, like, and the whole spirit of the show is, like, a tragic end to, like, a beautiful kid, but his dad built his bike. He had that Yamaha, he built that bike for him, and he has his van he brings to the show, and, and he's such a good dude, and Dan's putting my glasses on. But yeah, he had all those
Oh,
pictures. We're like in the pictures with Parker and he had everybody sign it. It was just a beautiful moment. You know what I mean? Like, again, the show doesn't have to be about who has the most expensive bike or who's the coolest or whatever. This show is about the community, and the community is the people that come, and that's what's important about this, you know? Like,
yeah.
everybody has a different opinion about what bike is cool, but there's only one opinion about what community is cool. Community that helps each other
Mhm.
out, that has each other's back, that actually fucking cares about each other, you know?
Right.
Bikes are secondary. So, yeah, man, that that part of the show was so awesome, like, the awards, handing the Doom the check, like, then it was party time, dude. Then it was fucking bands kicked off. Everybody breathed a sigh of relief, like, all the everybody's stress just melted away at that point. It was like, "All right,
Yeah.
now it's party." There's no other things that we have to do, like, everybody was relaxing. We got to hang out for hours, listen to some fucking music. Dude, I was at the hardcore show. They killed it, dude. All those bands were sick,
Mhm.
dude. Bullshit Detector, like, I had been listening to them because 'cause you're like, you have to memorize a song, but, like, live, dude, is a different thing, you know? And I was actually like,
Yeah.
this is actually kinda cool because there's a bunch of young kids there, and they were getting, like, they're dancing around, jumping into each other and stuff, and I'm like, "That's not my scene." But standing and looking tough
Yeah.
is my scene. So I kinda like that aspect of the show. You just kinda sit there, have your arms crossed, and you're just like, "This is fucking badass. I like this song." And totally
Yeah.
emotionless.
That's the majority of being a hardcore fan. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
I could be into
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, it was great, man. The hardcore show went off without a hitch. No drama, no issues, no fights, none of that shit. Yeah, it was cool. Honestly, I was so spent and had been in the sun and all that shit for so long that at one point I think it was during Stab set, unfortunately, because I love that fucking band. I sat down and kind of leaned against one of those orange barriers out where they were doing the drag races, and I fucking woke up to Dead Kev's in-laws essentially trying to introduce themselves to me and scared the fuck out of me. I passed out right on the hot top. So, but the bands were fucking amazing. It was so sick to see Cruel Hand. They're one of my fucking favorites. It's Colin of Arabia's second to last show that they're gonna play. So that
yeah,
was a really special one for me. I've been seeing COA since I started going to hardcore shows when I was like 14 in 2003, 2004. They've been around. They've been a constant sense. They've been one of my favorites. So it was an honor truly to have those guys on that stage for that show and this be, on their final run. Um, Give Up Hope was fucking awesome. Fucking killed it. Like real deal fucking Boston Brockton hardcore. They opened up the whole show. Stab was sick. Yeah, it was fucking incredible. It was I built that lineup. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like I built that off seeing Bullshit Detector. I saw that there was an opportunity for me to see one of my most favorite bands and to get them up from Texas,
yeah. That was
and I
amazing.
took that opportunity. And they were absolutely amazing. I hope everybody enjoyed it too, as much as I did. It was fucking incredible. My only regret for the hardcore show is that I had completely and utterly exhausted my voice by that point. My plan, I had this whole thing envisioned where I was going to be up on stage singing along and fucking grabbing the mic and not moshing or anything, but I like being more of a part of the show. And unfortunately, I just didn't have enough of a voice. It wasn't even worth it. I was kind of in a lot of pain at that point, so I just enjoyed from afar. But it was fucking incredible. It was amazing. All the bands were great. Thank them. I thank them all so much for coming and participating, and I hope they all had fun too. But
Yeah, and you brought up
yeah, it
another
was
good
sick.
point about the, Kev's in-laws. Thank you for bringing your moms to the show. We are
Yes,
mom
so many
friendly
moments.
at the Idle Hand Show, and a
Yep.
lot of you guys brought your parents up to meet me, and I was very flattered, That's great, dude.
Yep.
I love seeing families
Absolutely.
into this shit, dude. Families
Yeah,
that chop together,
for
they
sure.
stay together, guys.
Dude, Fish had his entire family there. It was so sick. I came around the corner and there was this mob of people. He was like, "Hey, you want to take a photo with my family?" I was like, "Holy shit, dude! You got everybody. That's awesome."
My whole ass
I
family was
dude,
there, dude.
and I was gonna say, shout out to mine, dude. My whole ass family, my step-in-law family, they were all there. It was fucking incredible, dude. My father-in-law came all the way up from Fitchburg, and yeah, it was incredible. Both my kids were there. My wife and my son worked that merch booth all day long, and having them there, like being a part of it, and seeing the way my son kind of like he said it 100 times, just like realizing like, oh my god, my dad was a part of this. You know what I mean? I'm sure you had the same experience with your kids where it was kinda like, "Damn, like, my dad put this on," you know what I mean? Like, just to see the sense of pride in me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm proud of him every fucking day, but for him to be, like, very visibly proud of me, it was like it was really fucking cool, and he had a blast, and everybody was super cool. My wife didn't have any complaints. I don't have to kill anybody, so that's good.
Yeah, thanks,
So, it
Kayla.
was just so cool having them there.
She sold out of our shirts. So thank you for everybody that bought the shirts, and thank you, Kayla, for slanging them
Yes.
things. Um,
Truly, yeah.
I
Thank you so
actually
much. Shout out Orca Promotions. They're the
yeah,
ones who made our
Orca.
shirts. Chad over at Orca, he's a family or a high school friend of Kayla's. He stepped in like real last minute, hooked us the fuck up, and those shirts came out incredible. They're on comfort colors. The prints were amazing. So
Yeah.
we're absolutely going to continue to go with him for merch in the future. And next year we're going to have a fuckload more
Have
merch.
a to have more, yeah, more shit. But
Mm,
you were talking about your son being proud. I have to really sell it with my kids. I have to be like, "Hey, I did
really?
this." I'll be like, "Hey, you know that
Yeah.
show that's going on right now? I put it on." And my daughter could not care
Yeah.
less. She's like, "Yeah, cool. Can I have some pizza, loser?"
Yeah.
I think my sons are
Yeah. I'm
mildly
saying.
amused by it, but yeah, it
Yo,
was
for sure.
everybody's welcome at the Idle Hand Show. We love moms, we love dads, we love milfs, dilfs, and gilfs. Okay, bring them all next year. Which, all right, let's get through Sunday. Let's get through Sunday real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Real quick.
So the show's done. There was a big pool party back at the Fairfield with the Sun Chasers. I dipped out. I was so exhausted. I sat in bed. I was gonna go down to the pool party, but I was like, in fact, I invited everybody. I was like, pool party at my hotel because I was drunk. And then I got to the hotel and I went up to my room and I was like, actually, a glass of tequila and watching Demon Night sounds a lot better. So I just passed the fuck out after like 3 minutes. But then Sunday we came. I slept the fuck in too. Dan texted me at like 8:30 or something or 7:30, and I was like, "What time are we supposed to be at Harley?" And you're like, "I'm 3 minutes away," and I was like, "Oh fuck, I just woke up." So I just boogied
No,
down
it
there. I
was
got down there. I was only like 5 minutes late.
yeah, no.
And then it was just a chill day. We're eating hot dogs. Everybody was saying their goodbyes. We're just hanging out, drinking what little beer they had or that Rowan bought that morning. Walt Tezza, he was set up. He had killer ass parts, dude. I wanted to buy them all. I had no
Yeah.
money. Yeah, dude, it was just a chill day. Everybody, we're just like we just chilled. I got a tattoo from your girl. It took
Harley, yeah.
Yeah, dude. It was fucking sick, and it was in a very this is a very tender spot.
Mhm.
But it was good, dude. I needed to get an Idle Hands 2026 tattoo. Shout out to everybody that did get an Idle Hands 20.
Yeah, for real.
I have something in store for you maybe next year. I'm gonna have something. It may be like that's a VIP pass. If you got a fucking Idle Hands tattoo for the first year, you deserve to get something
Mm,
special. But yeah, that whole day was just chill. Everybody was loading up their bikes, leaving at different times. We hung out until the very end. Then we had to break down, which sucked.
yeah,
Didn't want to do that. But everybody, again,
that hurt.
everybody helped. Everybody stuck around, helped tear it down, load it up, get it to where it needed to go. And I mean, dude, our tent was an absolute shit show. All the trash and broken down boxes and fucking random ass shit and gifts. Dude, everybody like not cool Nate Bev had like little gift bags. Put it on. Oh yeah, boy. That's my hat
Yep.
now. Um, but yeah, dude, everybody was just super chill and it was awesome being able to have that time to be like, all right, see you later, goodbye. And it was a good Sunday. But by the end of it, dude, by the time I got home at like 5, 6 o'clock at night, I was fucking assed the fuck out, dude. I was tired,
Mhm.
but
Yep.
and then I had to work the next day, which fucking sucked. Monday was the worst day of my life, dude. Coming off of that
Ugh,
high and then going back to work and pretending like I give a shit was really fucking hard.
the one thing that I did right 100% this weekend, I can say for sure, was take Monday off because Monday, my son was supposed to go to like summer camp or whatever, and I took Monday off, and I was like, I ain't doing a goddamn productive thing all day. So we woke up and we were like, "You're not going to camp, kid. We're hanging out all day." So we just hung out as a family. We fucking bounced around. It was like 100 something degrees and miserable humidity. So we just like fucked around. We went to Barnes and Noble. We went shopping. We went out to dinner, whatever. We just had a family day, and it was like it was the perfect way to like decompress, get back into like dad and husband mode, and like You know what I mean? I got to spoil them a little bit all for, going through all the craziness of this past weekend and having strangers in and out of the house all weekend and shit like that. You know what I mean? But it was like by yesterday when I went back to work, it was like, okay, it's a bitter pill for sure. Getting back to it, the blues are in full effect for sure. But honestly, like I'm still so full. I'm so beaming from this past weekend that like nothing could fuck with me right now, dude. Like nothing. I didn't get mad in traffic today. I like nothing. I'm chilling. I'm cool. I drove the entire way to work this morning, all the way down to Plymouth, Mass, with no fucking music on. Cool as a cucumber, dude. Like I'm just, I'm so relieved that it worked. I'm so relieved that everybody enjoyed it. That my own personal goal of having a running motorcycle there, that came to fruition. And because God knows that was a fucking struggle. Just everything, like all of the boxes that could have been ticked were ticked this weekend. There's not one thing other than like the miscues, the me forgetting hot dogs, whatever little goofy things
Things that don't
that I'm
matter. Yeah,
the
things
things that
that
really don't matter to the ultimate experience. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't even know how to describe it. I really don't. I don't know how to describe the way I feel. Everything feels different. It's like, it sounds so fucking corny, but it's almost like, hey, now we know what we have to do. You know what I mean? Like the no let paintwork stuff, that's taking a back seat now. Like I still love that. I'm still gonna paint. I'm still gonna do my thing. But like idle hands now, that's the focus. Like period. That is my point and purpose in this life is to continue to do that, to continue to build that community, to get people to build in their garages, to get them together, and to do that party and to feel that again. Like I'm gonna be chasing that dragon every fucking year. And then
yep,
some, you know what I mean? It's just that just like repurposed everything about choppers for me. That just clarified everything. It opened the fucking door wide open for me. I know now. I'm good. I'm so secure in that. And we're just gonna fucking keep trucking on and it's gonna be sick.
yeah, that's a great way to kinda roll into this next thing and to kinda put a little pin in this motherfucker because you hit the nail on the head, dude. What this show really showed me was that, like, corny or not, dude, it's the people in the culture that make the culture cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you have a bunch of shitbags in the culture, your culture sucks. You have a bunch of vultures, it sucks. You have a bunch of fucking, people that like what reaffirmed all my suspicions was this show. Like I always talk and I'm like, and maybe, and I'm like, I got this like narrow point of view because I'm like, oh well, the New England chopper scene is awesome, dude. You know, but like what this show taught me, because we get this all the time. Oh, I'm in Missouri. There's no chopper scene here. Oh, I'm in Toronto. There's no chopper scene here. Guys, this is your chopper scene. If you like what we're laying down on the Low Life podcast, if you like what we're laying down on about garage building, doing it yourself, hard work, sacrifice, if you hold those values true in your own life and you live those values, that's what it's about, is those people, And when I say that you've earned my respect, that's no small feat because I fucking hate everybody. I think everybody's fucking retarded, dude. In my normal life, when I'm around other humans, like that's why I'm like pro death penalty. I like kill more people, dude. But the people at this show have been pardoned from any death penalty pending. You guys all deserve to live and thrive. I want you guys to have babies and bring them into this culture and raise them with the same ideals. Like hard work pays off. Helping, being selfless. Nobody. I didn't pay anybody. Nobody got paid or got anything from helping us out. They did it out of the kindness of their heart because they care about this shit. And that just reaffirmed it for me. So like I have a new lease on life, like cuz I'm always a little bit dubious. And I'm like, are people doing this for the right reasons? And seeing people come from all over the country and come here and to see the way that other people interacted. And again, it was a whirlwind and I know how people interacted with me, but I did see it. I saw it in the pictures. I saw it while I was there. Like people just coming together from everywhere. I'm like, that guy's from Florida. That guy's from fucking Massachusetts. That person's from fucking Utah. That person's from fucking Colorado. That person's from fucking California, sitting in fucking chairs in a fucking easy up that they don't own, drinking beers, smoking cigars, like that's what this fucking whole shit is about, dude. And
Mhm.
it was a beautiful thing that we saw. And me and Dan, we decided that this is the first of many Idle Hands show. We will be doing Idle Hands 2. We are already planning Idle Hands 2. The day after I got back, I started a new spreadsheet. We learned so much from this experience, and we want to make this show bigger and better than ever next year. And we are going to be kicking this shit off fucking soon. I'm going to be talking to Dan this week. I already built a website. I already have submission forms. I already have ideas. We've already been talking and spitballing. We're going to be doing a post mortem with Harley Davidson in the very near future. And we're going to make this show number 2 even better than the first. Okay. So you missed the first, you missed the magic of the first. That'll never be repeated. Okay. To get this show to be what it was, you can't repeat it. So if you were at the Idle Hands 1, you witnessed some magic. All right.
Mhm.
Idle Hands 2 is going to be bigger and better with the same spirit. All right. We're leaning into that DIY. We're leaning into that garage building. We're leaning into that culture. And we have a lot of great ideas. So stay tuned because we might even have something for you next week. I don't know. I'm so excited for Idle Hands 2. I can't wait to start it. That's
Same.
the best thing about Idle Hands, guys. It's an annual thing. It happens every year, but it's for a year. We kicked this shit off in July of last year. And it was a year-long experience that culminated in this one show on Saturday last week. But we're gonna be doing it again, and we're gonna be doing a whole 'nother year of it. So get those fucking projects ready, buddy. Stay
Yep.
tuned. Perk up your ears. Tune into the Low Life podcast. Daniel, is there anything else that we missed that you wanted to talk about before we shut her down?
I'm sure there's so much that we missed that will pop up in the future episodes and whatnot. Just again, a very sincere, heartfelt thank you to every single person that was involved, that showed up, that reposted a story or a flyer, that built anything to do with it. And thank you all so much. We really want to double it and then some next year. We can't wait to see what we get for builders. We can't wait to tell you who we're thinking for judges. Yeah, it's gonna be great. So here we go. Fucking get your projects ready.
Fucking A, dude. You guys heard it here first. Idle Hands 2027 will be underway shortly. Stay tuned for details. Until next week, low lives, get in the garage, get in trouble, have fun, and never stop chopping.